In this video, let's cover distribution rules. So in your system, when you hit settings, if you have the access, you will see under sales and marketing, the distribution rules settings page. And this page determines what leads are going to go through what distribution rules in your system based on how you have it set up. So there will be some default ones in here just set up on best practices in your industry for how records should be distributed. But of course, these can be turned off, turned on, modified, all that good stuff. So these top options, starting with distribute record pool, this will automatically distribute unassigned records to a user to work. If you leave this off, it'll leave those records unassigned until somebody manually assigns them out. Include all rules and distribution cap counts. This just means if you set up distribution caps, which we'll go over here in a second, do you want to apply that to all the rules or just one rule at a time? Distribute to logged off users. This is fairly self-explanatory, but if checked, logged off users can receive records, and if unchecked, then they cannot. And then round robin per rule, if applied, will round robin between users, which just means one user gets a lead, and then the next user and the next one on down the list until it gets to the end of the list, and then it starts again until everything's been distributed. A couple options on these rules. You can click the pencil to edit, click the paper icon to duplicate, and click the trash icon to delete. Let's check out this LO round robin distribution. The distribution rule name, this will be the name of the rule. If you're adding a new one, just give it a distinct name, something that describes what it's doing so that you can easily just hop in here and make adjustments. If the distribution rule is on, it's active. If it is off, then nothing will distribute through this. The method will be push. All push means is that it will go straight to a user. And QuickFire Connect means that it will go through the QuickFire Connect distribution, which will play an audible tone with a pop-up whenever a lead comes in so that the users can click to immediately start that call with the lead. It's great for increasing competition between users. You can set a status change whenever something goes through this rule. So if you want it to change to a specific status, use this. Distribution recipients, this is where you set who it distributes to. So if it's going to a department of users, a team of users, a specific user, just select those on the right. Normally, people like to do it by department and then just select the department that you want to distribute to. The distribution order is personal preference. You can do the oldest first or the newest. Applying the rule for imports, whenever you import a file into the system under import, you can have distribution rules distribute those files out, or leave it off and you can assign it on the import or afterwards. And you can also exclude sources here. So you can exclude specific sources that you don't want to go through distribution at all. You want those to stay unassigned. Or if it's through an API push, then it can be assigned that method as well. From here, you'll see these buttons at the top. And what they do is you can add distribution caps. And you can customize per user or apply the same cap to all users. And hitting the pencil icon, you can set it hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. Hours of distribution will add a run schedule to the rule. So you can have it run Monday through Friday during business hours and then not run on the weekends, things like that. Just hit the pencil icon and set the start and end time on each day. Save your changes when you're finished. Filters are a great way to drill down on this further. You can add filters, give that rule a name, select the filter type. So if it's the source, you can select the source in your system. If it's status, status contains any of these, and same thing for field. So whenever the record comes in and the, let's say the tag on the record is equal to, VIP, then we want it to distribute to a specific person. And you can add as many filters on there as needed. Just keep in mind, the more filters you add, the more it has to look at, and the more you kind of open yourself up to things not working correctly. So kind of start slow, one filter at a time, make sure it's, acting as intended. You can add redistribution rules, and redistribution rules are great. So if this distributes to one of our loan officers and we want it to redistribute after a certain criteria is met, we can do so. So give it a name. And then for the time option, you can select minute, hours, or days. The most common use case is, let's say the record comes in and the user did not call that person. So hasn't been opened, contacted, status hasn't changed, hasn't been touched, and hasn't been called. Then redistribute through LO round robin to another user that's going to work it properly as we're needing. And follow user profile state eligibility. This is a big one. If you have certain licensing requirements, you can check mark this. And then in each user's profile, there is a spot at the bottom for you to set what states you are eligible to receive leads from. So if you're only licensed in California and Delaware, save those changes, and then you can only receive leads from California or Delaware. Leaves out everything else, and those can go to the appropriate user that's licensed in those states. We hope this video helps. Just let us know if you have any questions about a specific rule that you're looking to set up, and we are more than happy to oblige.